everyone, I'm the Limitless Librarian and I've got another second-hand book haul for you today. I got some Sidney Sheldon books, I got some kids books, I got some different things today, so let's have a look. I got 2 bags. This is from a second-hand bookshop and this lot was $50. So without further ado, let's jump into bag number 1. First is How to Train Your Dragon by Cressida Cowell. I have seen the movies. I've seen the first 2 movies at least, but I never read the books as a child for some reason. I have read her Wizard of Once series and I really like that. So I picked this one up. Tales of Robin Hood by whoever wrote this, because the author doesn't seem to be on here. There's no name. Is it inside? Okay, Archie Oliver. The author is Archie Oliver. So this one I do have a bit of history with, albeit in a bit of a strange way. When I was in year 5, I think it was, I played Robin Hood in my class play, which was Robin Hood's New Clothes. So not the actual story of Robin Hood, but a really weird, I don't know, spin-off story, probably not written by the original author, in which Robin Hood gradually gets new green clothes to blend in so he can steal stuff better. It was really strange, and I was picked to be Robin Hood because my favourite colour was green, and Robin Hood gets to wear all the green clothes. So yeah, that was a strange experience, but that made me want to pick this up, as well as, well, it's being curious about the story because, you know, it's a famous story. So there was that. This one, I have 3 books in this series. We have 3 of these novelizations of the TV series called House of Anubis, which I never watched, but it sounds interesting because it's about this mysterious house with all this ancient Egyptian mythology, magical stuff going on in it. So we have The Mask of Anubis, The Cup of Ankh, and The Eye of Horus. Okay, those are all in the reverse order, so pretend I said them in the opposite order. I don't know if there are more novelizations out there, but these are the first 3. So yeah, with me being into mythology, that sounded interesting. These 2 are also in a series. They are Freak Street, The Extraordinary Collection, and The Wacky Collection by Knife and Packer. I have read some of the books in this series, not all of them, so these are anthologies. They're about their kids' books with all these wacky families of different species living on this street and getting up to shenanigans. And yeah, I haven't read these particular ones, though I have 2 of the other collections. So yeah, I picked those up. These were like $2 each, so yeah, you're gonna might as well pick those up. Oops, I grabbed 2 at once. This one is Horrible Histories, Rowdy Revolutions. I'm guessing it's by Terry Deary. You've probably seen the Horrible Histories TV show, or at least heard of it. And this one seems like looks like a nice book. It's a nice, shiny aqua book. And I haven't read this one, and it sounds interesting. So, guessing about different revolutions through history. And this one is El Blanco, The Legend of the White Stallion by Rutherford Montgomery. What a fancy name. This is a story about a horse in Mexico, I believe, and I don't know much more about it, but it sounded like a nice story. I like horses and horse books, so yeah, it sounded good. Maybe something in the vein of a Michael Morpurgo type story. Next is Selby Scrambled by Duncan Ball. This is a book in the Selby series, which is about a talking dog. It's an Aussie kid's favourite. I read some of the books in this series, so haven't read this one yet, so I picked that up. These 2 are also in the series. The Shadow of the North and Ruby of the Smoke. This is the first one. I don't know where Ruby of the Smoke These are by Philip Pullman, who wrote his Dark Materials. I read the first one of those. It was a bit weird, but these ones sound more steampunk, I think. It's a detective sort of thing. That sounds a bit steampunk, so that sounded interesting. This one, we have a big one here. Ah! Give me a sec. Oh. Sorry, I have two very expensive uni textbooks that just fell on the floor. Anyway, this appears, we have Dublin Foundation by Edward Rutherford, which is a long story about the history of Dublin crossing multiple centuries. I've got a couple of other books by him which I have not read yet, so who knows when I will get to this one. It's a big book. How many pages is it? Oh, it's not even 800. It's a bit less than 800 pages. Not as long as I thought, but still long. And I think that might be but one more in this bag, which is The Naked Face by Sidney Sheldon, which was, according to the back, his first book. So it sounds like a psychoanalytical murder mystery sort of thing, which sounds interesting. And it's kind of cool to, find his first novel. So I definitely want to read more Sidney Sheldon after I was blown away by Master of the Game by him last year, which I have reviewed on this channel. So just give me a sec while I pop all this away, and then we will move on to the second bag. Okay, welcome back to bag number 2 of this book haul. The first one in this bag is the Reader's Digest Book of the Car, which I bought for my dad. It's a big book about cars, I guess. I'm not an expert, he's the expert. Has lots of diagrams and things in it. No idea. It just looked like it was just the nicest car book that was there. It looks like a nice, fancy, big hardcover book. So hopefully he'll like that. Another big book. Sidney Sheldon, Rage of Angels and Best Laid Plans. I was more interested in the Rage of Angels. That one sounded more interesting, but this one was $3, and there was a copy of just the Rage of Angels also for $3. So I figured I might as well grab this that had, the extra book in it, which would essentially be free in that sense. So yeah, murder mystery thrillers sort of thing. This is Uglies by Scott Westerfield. This is a YA dystopian sort of thing, which I've heard of. I haven't read it yet, obviously. So apparently when you turn 16, you get into this paradise sort of society, but apparently it's not all as it seems. So we'll see what that's all about when I get to it. It's all a bit vague in terms of what it really means. Next is a bit of a silly sounding one, The Bangers and Chips Explosion by Brow Girling, no idea. Some interesting names today. This is about some evil school cafeteria cooks. So it just sounded kind of silly and fun and random, and I was curious. It was only 50 cents, so I figured might as well. Another Sidney Sheldon, Nothing Lasts Forever. This seems like a sort of a medical malpractice murder mystery conspiracy thriller sort of thing. Sounded interesting. This one is The Blessed by Tonya Hurley. This seems like a YA vampire sort of one, and maybe inspired by the fact that I'm reading Twilight at the moment. So there you go. So basically there's this guy named Sebastian and these 3 different girls vying for his soul. Also these interesting coloured pictures in the middle, so I don't know if there's some interesting creepy art in the middle of this book, so it sounded interesting. we have A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas. This is the 5th book in her Court of Thorns and Roses series, which is a fairy romantasy book series. This one follows one of the sisters of the main character. Her name is Nesta. So we'll see where her story picks up after the main trilogy. We'll see how that goes. I'm not sure how to feel about Nesta. I know a lot of people don't really like her. She's definitely not the most warm, enticing, interesting person, but I do think she is overhated. Any ACOTAR fans, let me know in the comments how you feel about Nesta. And this one is the last book, and that is All the Ways the World Can End by Amy Sher, which is another YA book, although I found it in the thriller section. And so this girl is obsessed with the end of the world, and also her dad has cancer, so yeah, I don't know, trying to find this doctor, and I guess hold out hope in that way. I don't know, it sounds interesting. And apparently it's funny, according to the back, so in spite of the subject matter, so we shall see. Anyway, that is the end of this book haul. Thank you for watching. If you like that and you'd like to see more book hauls and other bookish content, please like and subscribe to the channel. And as always, do lots of maths, read lots of books, and I'm sure you'll have an amazing day. Just be careful not to let your $100 plus textbooks fall off the table.